rolling, 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 do the daily grind, rolling, do the daily grind. That's too low, or too low for me. Welcome to the daily grind, and I'm singing really low this morning for some days are better than others. You'll find out. Yesterday was good, today was not. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, and it's Thursday. And around here, days that start with the letter T. I got Rusty with me. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
I'm good, man. Good, man. Happy Thursday. We're Friday Eve, heading towards the weekend. And Luke, I just your list on Twitter performed better than I thought it was going to. I must say, the Halloween candy ended up being closer between you and I than I would have cared for.
My Swedish Fish legions came out in droves, and
saying, I'm in the Homewood, Alabama Walmart yesterday with my brother. We're checking out, and there's a rack of candy right there by the checkouts. And there's like a handful of like Werther's Originals. There's a couple like Rolo bags, you know, those candies that nobody picks, right? And what's in the dead middle but a full rack of Swedish Fish? The only one that was slap full.
I can confirm I saw the picture. It looked like it was still full from last Halloween. It made me feel very, 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 very sad.
They typically they don't sell out, so they just keep resurfacing it because it is dehydrated Twizzlers is all it is. So it'll last forever.
They're like, you know what? They're not going to tell if they taste stale because that's how they always taste. They just always taste like that.
Exactly.
But shout out Swedish Fish. I love you. If you want to sponsor the show, come on, give it to me.
Absolutely.
Good morning, everybody. King Meeks, I see you, brother. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're just going to hop right into it because we got basketball tonight. We got basketball. We will be playing. It's our first home preseason, the preseason opener in Memphis, right? Yes. We will play the Charlotte Hornets tonight at the Forum. The Hornets are 1-1. We are 1-0. I don't know. I don't think there's any new people out. No one.
No, it'll be the same. ESPN Bet has this as a 2.5-point favorite. If you're a degenerate and like to bet on NBA preseason basketball, I mean, I feel like that's a new level even for me. And I love playing on ESPN Bet. But Grizz 2.5-point favorite, home preseason opener. You know, we know Ja's not going to play. We know Tripp's not going to play. You know the big ones that are hurt. Vince and Cam aren't going to play either. Gigi, obviously. So I think, you know, this is an opportunity to see what we've been looking for, right? Like if we can't run an offense with Marcus and Dez, Marcus and Luke running a point guard position, we're going to struggle. And so I think this is a great opportunity to kind of flesh some of that out in the preseason without Ja. Let Marcus probably run some one. I think tonight, you know, Scotty will probably start. We'll see quite a bit of him as well to try and earn that one of those final two roster spots.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a good prove-it game as much as you can have a prove-it game in the second preseason game.
Yes. Yes. The good news is we'll be able to watch this one. This one's going to be on Valley, which is sick. So as much as you can, you know, it's the preseason, you know, we were talking about what to be excited about. We're really excited about, you and I both agreed, we're really excited to see how this new offense looks. The Hornets are a team, though. I think Wayne, I see you, Wayne. Good morning, Wayno. I think Wayno is kind of with, there's a lot, this Hornets team is a very interesting team. But Brandon Miller, I love Brandon Miller. I think Brandon Miller is the real deal. We did our mock draft last year, and I whenever he came out, it might have been 2 years ago. I took him over Scoot as the Trailblazers. I really like Brandon Miller. Yeah. I think this game has the potential for a preseason game be interesting.
You know, this Hornets team, we talked about them yesterday, right? Like they have an interesting roster that they don't have outside of Brandon Miller and LaMelo when he's healthy. Like they don't have that dude. Like Brandon Miller can be that dude, but they just have a lot of good pieces, Nick Richards included, like a lot of these guys who can hoop. And it's just, they've just never really been able to put it together. Maybe it's just because they're Charlotte or what, I don't know. But they're an interesting team. I don't think they're going to be a team that makes the Eastern Conference Finals, but they could be a team that ends up being better than what we thought.
Yeah, if we lose, it's because we didn't hustle. I think this is absolutely correct. I am really excited Scotty. I want to see Scotty. You know, like I'm imagining to avoid any more like snipes to Ja's ankles. I'm really excited to see Scotty with this offense, like just to get a little bit more rope. You know, I want to see him with Edie. I want to see him just play with these boys. I'm excited for a preseason game because he's fully in try to get that one of those 2 roster spots mode right now. I imagine. I think he sees that he's riding the pace car there. He can really kind of take it if he just plays well. And this is a great dress rehearsal.
It is. And it's a nice, like, we're not having a major shift in what our personnel does. Look, don't hear what I'm not saying, but like Scotty loves to attack and get to the rim and hit floaters and layups, much like Ja does. And so this will be a great opportunity for Edie to still work on spacing, pick and roll, lobs, those type things, to where it's not going to be like there's going to be an obvious talent gap. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that Scottie Pippen and Ja are the same player, but it's going to be a similar style of play. So it's not like it's going to be we're going to have to play to Scottie in the preseason, and then when Ja comes back for the Jazz, like then we're going to have to completely change what we're doing. Like, it'll still be a very similar feel to it. And like you said, Luke, like this offense is very exciting because, yeah, it was vanilla. It was pretty basic in that first game, but I feel like each game we're just going to start peeling back layers. Ogres have layers, playbooks have layers, right? And so we're gonna keep peeling back until we see what this offense can truly look like. Look, any day that I can quote Shrek is a good day.
Yeah, you know, parfaits might be the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet.
You're not wrong, man. That or in the morning, I'm making waffles.
I do. So I love Daniel. This is a good. The Hornets are like that big present you get for your birthday. You have high expectations, but it never lives up to your expectations. I think that's very accurate. And it's been like that for a while. And
I'm going to give flowers where flowers are due real quick. Their stadium, the Spectrum Arena, is awesome. I lived in Myrtle Beach for 6 years, and every time the Grizz would come play at Charlotte, I would make a special trip to go to it. Their arena, like they call it the Hive, and they do a lot of really cool stuff. Like, it's no FedEx Forum, but the Spectrum Arena in Charlotte is also pretty great.
Any arena that has a name, the Hive, that's cool.
Yeah. It was really awesome, man. It was really well done. For a story for another day, I was part of helping a guy get to go and sit like with the media for he was from China. He was a J1 student, which is like a college student, comes over, does some work. Story for a different day. They took really good care of him. So I always kind of somewhat pull for him. But I do like this question. Come back full circle here.
Yeah. So who's your favorite? I mean, I is it weird that I love Muggsy Bogues. I know that's
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like as there's so many things about growing up, like when we did seeing someone that size able to play, and also he had some of the best lines in Space Jam.
Absolutely.
Mine,
like Larry Johnson is a great pick. The former running Reb from UNLV. For me, though, like one of my favorites ended up not necessarily being like he was better with the Heat than he was with the Hornets. But I love Alonzo Mourning. I've always been a big Zoe fan, huge Alonzo Mourning fan since I was a kid. Before the Grizzlies were the Grizzlies, I rooted for the Heat because of Alonzo Mourning. So Zoe is my favorite Hornet player, even though he was good in Charlotte, but it took off in Miami.
Yeah,
speaking of Miami, like I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but have you watched Khalil Ware in their couple of preseason games? That dude is a freaking hooper, man.
You were
freaking hooper, man.
We got them in 2 games. I'm excited for that preseason game.
He's a freaking hooper, man.
He's a hooper,
God,
man.
He can hoop.
If he keeps playing, that Heat's success is going to hinge a lot on him.
And like it just feels like like it's like Wemby was supposed to go to San Antonio, like Tim Duncan was supposed to go to San. Like it feels like Khalil Ware landed in the perfect spot for him and his skill set, and just that Heat. I hate that they put on jerseys, but that Heat culture is going to fit for him. And Khalil Ware looked really good in 2 games.
Yep. If there's someone else that I would like to see continue to look good for the Grizzlies, it's going to be Santi. Sorry, Wayno. I really want to see the summer of Santi continue. An empowered Santi is a better Santi. I want to continue these, like, lead us in. I want to see him rivaling Edie with the boards. I want to see him not afraid to shoot. I'm excited to see if he continues to flourish in this European style offense. I'm very excited.
And I want to see Jalen Wells continue to shoot the ball. I want to see that confidence. I want to see that smooth shot. Everybody's talking about this is the summer of LaRavia, and all I think LaRavia's doing is making a great mixtape for his trade. But I think like Jalen Wells could step in and fill some in that 2-3 guard position with Gigi being out, Ja being out. I would love to see like Marcus Dez, Jalen backcourt. Or front court, would be really backcourt would be really, really good to just see tonight, kind of flesh out what that can look like. Because you got Marcus running the point and playing defense, then you got 2 shooters, get hot shooters,
capital S shooters.
That's it, man. Good luck with that, because Yeah, you're going to cheat to Dez's side, then Jalen's going to fill it up. You cheat to Jalen's side, Dez is going to fill it up. And then you got Edey in the middle. And so, like, I want to see Jalen continue to be confident, continue to shoot. In the first game, he took 11 shots from the field. He's 4 for 11, 3 from 5 from 3. Like, I want to see that continue for sure.
Do you want to see this continue?
6 man your Jitty season, baby. He got a shoe deal. He's balling out. Listen, man, Jitty was there when you need him, especially when you play the Lakers, man. AD has nightmares about John Conchar, of all people, because he's going to pin him against the backboard.
Yep, man.
Jitty season, baby.
Jitty season. I'm so glad you brought up Jalen Wells, because if that dude keeps shooting the way he's shooting, it's going to be possible to keep him off the court, which is not the guy that I had pegged to be doing that out of these early preseason games, but it's awesome.
And you ready for a transition?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You know, if he keeps shooting like that, we thought we were going to have one rookie of the year on our team. But if Jalen Wells comes out and fills it up, goes 3 for 5 every night, how about that for transition?
Man, I'm glad you're here, because I make my job easy. I don't got to do nothing. That is going to lead us into the GM survey, which was just, I guess it was 2 days ago. I don't know how I missed this. They released, or it might have been yesterday. The annual GM survey results were released, and let's start with Rookie of the Year. I think that's a good one to start with, because that was interesting. They were, so I guess we should let's keep in mind that there are only 30 teams in the league. So these are all these votes are based on percentages. So I feel like it skews a specific way when you look at it that way. Like 67% or 50% sounds a lot higher, but when you realize, it's just like 15 dudes, that's neither here nor there. But let's start with the Rookie of the Year, because at the beginning, I guess in Vegas, Edey opened up with the highest odds, correct?
Still
is, according to Vegas, but according to the GMs, Reed Shepherd is the favorite to. I mean, when asked, he is the favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
Which, I mean, if there's somebody other than Zach Edey that I think could win it, it's Reed Shepherd. He's in a great situation. He's not going to have a green light to just fire away. You know, Houston is a young up and coming team. Like, it's a good situation. I can see that, but like, I don't know that the impact's going to be quite as immediate as Zach Edey's. I think Zach Edey really has the shoe in if he can be what we think he can be in that floor spacing big who can defend. And we already saw a great block shot in game 1. You know, the pick and roll lob situation is getting figured out. Like, I think Edey is in prime position because, like, I mean, he's going to get the ball a lot. We're hoping to be more of a half court team, and he's going to make us a better half court team. So, I mean, I think it's Edey.
Yes, I do too. And you got to think there's a lot going on that Rockets team. Like, they've got a lot of dudes, like a lot of dudes. They got to figure out the rotation. I just, that might just be prisoners of the moment, seeing summer league and being like, hey, this guy can shoot. You know, I don't know.
Which kind of bugged me with the one below it on NBA.com where it's talking about which rookie will be the best in 5 years. How you can look. Zach Edey's didn't even get
not on here. Yeah.
They voted for Alex Sarr, who went over 18 in the game. Like, I want to remind you, 0 for 15. He took 15 shots, didn't make a single one. Ricochet's above him. Like, Donovan Clingan looked bad in the preseason. Like, how can you look at these players and say that in 5 years they're going to be better than Edey? Like, Edey has been playing, like, organized basketball for 6 years. And 2 of those years, he was a Naismith Player of the Year. Like, I don't understand, like, the hate on Zach Edey.
And there's honestly just some weird stuff going around in this thing in general, because these group of guys also have SGA first in the MVP voting, but not even ranked as the best international player. Like, he's not even in the top 3, but they have him as the best MVP player above guys that were, like, it just seems, I don't know, like Jokic, who was tied for 3rd for MVP votes, was rated the best international player. Above SGA, who is rated higher than him on MVP. I don't really know.
They also think that Paul George and his bum knees are going to be the most impactful acquisition of the offseason. Like, if Paul George is healthy, and this was 8 years ago, absolutely, you freaking nailed it. But, like, you got Mikal Bridges and Cat tied for 2nd. Like, those feel way more impactful than Paul George for a Sixers team that you've got, the thing standing between them and the Eastern Conference Finals are 4 knees, 2 for Embiid and 2 for Paul George, right? Like those guys are going to play a combined 60 games this year. And I just don't understand how you can, like Hartenstein's on the list. He should have been higher. Alex Caruso, I think, makes Oklahoma City a lot better. Yeah. Like, I think they voted on a name there, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of these actually feel like there was actual good basketball analysis going into it. We'll get to some of them. Like, I do want to hit the Memphis stuff. So the GMs have Memphis currently finishing sixth in the Western Conference rankings. 3% of them have them. I mean, they receive votes for second, third, and fourth. Like that, they're received percentage of people think they're going to be good, which I believe they had an overwhelming 67% of the GMs said they were going to be the most improved team, which is awesome. I mean, I think everybody is like, yeah, Memphis is going to be back. We were being slept on all summer, and now it's like, oh, yeah, what were we doing? It's really dumb.
That's it, man. And it just shows that, like, these pundits who write these articles and the talking heads don't really know ball. Like, the GMs looking at the teams, who look at the rosters, who make these decisions. Yes, there's some questionable ones on here, but when they look at collective teams as a whole, they see that Memphis is a good team, that we're going to bounce back just because of injuries last year. Like, that's the whole thing that kept us out. A couple other Grizzly love, like pseudo Grizzly love in the most underrated player acquisition. Kyle Anderson received some votes out in Golden State. I thought that was interesting, but I thought that one was pretty spot on because Caruso to OKC is a great acquisition, makes him a lot better. But especially number 2, Orlando and KCP. I'm working up some projections that I'm going to put on Twitter for the NBA season. And I think KCP makes Orlando really good. And I think they're a dark horse for an Eastern Conference final spot. They're going to have a run late because they're good. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they could be like a shock team. Say the Knicks don't get healthy or Boston has a dip. Like, I don't know. I'm a big fan of KCP to Orlando, and so are the GMs, obviously. Yeah.
Well, the GM's a big fan of their defense, and they also seem to be a fan of Memphis's defense. They've got Marcus Smart receive votes for best defensive player in the NBA still, and best perimeter defender. And Jaren Jackson also got votes for best interior defensive guy. Like,
yeah.
I would have liked to see Tripp get a little bit more love elsewhere, but I mean, it's nice that they still like us, kind of.
I'll give him that. Like, yes, he received, but like, to me, he should have been on the list for the most versatile because he can defend on the wing, he can defend at the top of the key, he can play post defense. Particularly, like, it's like they're sleeping on the year that he won DPOY. We had Steven Adams. Well, now we've got another pseudo Steven Adams and Edey. They played very similarly, and Jaren could just ball hawk. And so he's not even in the top 10 best defensive players in the NBA. He's not even in the top 10 most versatile. Like, come on, Mo. Come on, guys.
I don't think people understood what versatile means because Giannis is a good defender, but he's not the most. I mean, would you throw Giannis out there to guard all 5 positions? I wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
I think that's kind of weird.
I mean, some of these other guys, like Herb Jones should have been higher. Jalen McDaniels is pretty good.
Put Drew Holiday higher. I mean, like,
absolutely. Victor Wembanyama is Victor is a good defender, but I don't know that I'd want him out, guarding Ja or somebody out at the top of the key. Whereas
Bam's really good. Bam's a versatile. Maybe that's who you put.
But if Jaren somehow got switched onto a point, if Jaren got switched onto a point guard like a Luka or somebody like that, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, we're fixing to get cooked, right? Like, I would feel comfortable with him out there in space.
Yeah. So Bam Adebayo and Jaren Jackson Jr. are very similar. They play a very similar. They're very, very similar players. Bam gets 10% of the vote. Jaren doesn't get any. I just don't. It's very, very strange.
Again, stay on that side when we're dominating later in the season. Stay on that side.
They hate us because they ain't us. I will say there was one thing I was a little surprised of that I feel like is worth mentioning here. Taylor Jenkins was tied for 4th for which head coach makes the best in-game adjustments,
which is interesting.
Very, very interesting. Because you look at the top 5 around him, and it's Ty Lue, Spo, Rick Carlisle, Nick Nurse, and Mark Dagnall. And it's like, I always feel like up until recently, Coach TJ, I love Taylor Jenkins. You know that. This is a very pro TJ podcast. TJ comes from that Bud school of thought where you don't make adjustments till it's too late.
That's what I'm just sitting here thinking. Like, I like TJ. I like
TJ.
I like TJ, but I'm also a TJ realist. He's a great defensive schemer. We all know watching him that he struggles in late game rotations. Like he'll pull Jaren with his fourth foul with like 6 or 8 minutes to go and put him back in with 2 minutes and we're down 12. And it's like, cool, we could have used him a couple minutes ago, right? Like his rotations have always been something that has befuddled me. And I think the vast majority of Grizzlies fans too. So 2 things can be true. He can be a great coach and there are other accolades that he could have got on this list, but in-game adjustments was one that I was kind of like,
It feels like that the GMs are like, oh yeah, TJ's good. TJ's one of the best coaches we have. We need to show him some love. I was just like, really? This is where you're going to show it to him? Why don't you do it defensive schemes or something? Don't do because I'm glad that because people are going to look at that list and be like, oh, Coach Taylor Jenkins, interesting. And a lot of us have been saying that for a long time that he belongs in that upper tier. I just thought it was really funny that it was like,
that's the one you choose.
Even your like most staunch TJ supporters will be like, yeah, maybe the dude could afford to make adjustments a little earlier. I just thought that was funny.
That is funny. So a couple more Memphis ones that stood out to me and some of the miscellaneous ones. We got votes and what team's level of success is toughest to predict.
Yep.
The one that bugged me was which team has the most promising young core. We didn't get a single vote. It's OKC, Orlando, Houston, San Antonio, and Detroit. Like, didn't get a single vote. Like
Detroit.
Like I would put us on par with Orlando, better than San Antonio, better than Houston.
Yep.
I mean, we live in a world where John Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. play on the same basketball team. But anyway, Ja was tied for 4th most athletic behind Ant, Giannis, and then Amen Thompson. And then he's tied with the Thompson twin, Azur Thompson. And then he was 2nd fastest with the ball behind De'Aaron Fox, which I feel like is pretty accurate there. I mean, those two kind of are back and forth. So Ja did get some love with some other things later. Some of the more like, oddball, not your traditional ones, but I just thought a couple of those were interesting.
That and Luke Kennard getting some votes for best pure shooter.
I mean, like, stepped at 87%, but Luke got some votes, and Desmond also received votes in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Desmond received ball. Which player is the best at moving without the ball? That's what Desmond got. Luke was pure shooter. Dez is moving without the ball.
Really, it's interesting how a lot of the GMs were like, yeah, Memphis, there's some hoopers on, because those miscellaneous awards feel like they're hoopers. It's like, who's fast? Who's good off ball? It's like Grizzlies have people getting votes in all those, which
I think people see it, like they see that it's there, but I think it's a bit of recency bias, right? And I get it. Like last year, we were so bad. We were not on anybody's radar. Nobody was talking or thinking about us. And Desmond didn't play for the majority of the year. Ja didn't play at all, but besides 6 games, like I think it's some recency bias. And I think if this time next year we're sitting on the show and we're talking about the GM survey result, it's going to be completely different if we have a healthy season.
Yes, no question. You put a button on it, bro. Man, you're just getting my transitions and my stuff for me today. I love it. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna play a game because around here it's a trap on Thursdays. It's a trap. We're gonna play a game. A round of It's a Trap right after this brand spanking new commercial break that hopefully doesn't leave us with an awkward taste in our mouth. Right after this.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you get a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got them in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots. So just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter I did peep that. It was like I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all gotta find a way to give Zach Edey something like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's gonna come a stretch of time where they're gonna be stagnant. And at that time, that's when I expect them. Okay, hey, let's run a post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Come back. I muted myself because I was so excited about a new commercial that's topical and doesn't make me feel weird. You can catch that show. You catch the Anthony Sane Show. You can catch Night Court. You can catch the $2 Sports Show. You can catch Grizz 901. Catch No Bluff. And we've got a lot of stuff going on at bluffcitymedia.co. There's stuff about everything Memphis, about everything not Memphis. Like we hit football, we hit baseball, we hit everything, guys. bluffcitymedia.co. Check it out. Check out Jess Benson over at Grind City Media. She's going to be hopping on in like 30 seconds. Maybe go check her out. But back to our show. After this, finish our show first because we have a lot of fun here on Thursdays. Because on Thursdays, we play Extra Trap. Extra Trap. I got to stop making him Scottish, man. Extra Trap. Admiral Akbar is not Scottish, if you're listening. He's Mon Calamari, which, God, how do I know that?
Squid? Calamari is squid, right?
Look, George Lucas is lazy. He just named this. He named this fish people after squid. I'm not even kidding. He's a lazy. I love you, George Lucas. If you're watching, I don't hate you. Back to our show.
Come on the show.
Come on the show. Oh man, I would talk to George Lucas about basketball for so long. I bet it would be the weirdest thing in the world. Oh God, I'm off the rails. On this show on Thursdays, we play a game called It's Our Trap. It's Our Trap. Here are the rules. I will give our guest a series of trivia questions. Half of these trivia questions will be real. They will have a factual answer. It is not up to the guest to answer properly. He does not have to answer the question because half of these questions are going to be fake. They're going to be traps. All he has to say is yes or it's a trap. Yes if it's a real question. It's a trap if it's a fake question. For fun, he can answer, and I'll give him extra points. But the points are made up, and the rules are made up, and none of this really matters. But we will jump into it. Today's category theme. I'm sticking with candy. After our candy draft yesterday that I failed I didn't fail magnificently, but I failed. Uncle Buck won. Man, do you think he's got bots? I bet Uncle Buck
100%. He's got about a half dozen burner accounts that he just uses in boats, and 100%.
This is because I did that poor impression of him on Tuesday, isn't it?
He's salty. Yeah,
he's salty. Mm-hmm. But this is going to be Halloween candy themed, so this should be pretty fun and make us all hungry by the end of it. All right. Okay, first number candy is what
first number question
candy. Question number 1. What candy has been the top selling Halloween candy in the United States for several years in a row?
Yes.
Yep.
What is it? It's probably something like random. Like it's not what you would think.
It's exactly what you would think.
Is it Reese's?
It's Reese's. It's exactly what
I'm
you
gonna overthink it.
I was like, whatever, man. All right. Which candy was banned in 1972 because it was believed to turn children's teeth to goo after they were eating?
Swedish Fish. Ha! It's a trap.
I feel attacked, but yes, that is a trap. Swedish Fish just, what if I've been saying that these teeth were a medical thing and I just ate too many Swedish Fish?
There it is.
That's it. Question number 2. Which Halloween candy was first introduced in the 1880s and was originally called chicken feed?
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah. Do you know?
Is it chiclets?
Close. It's almost candy corn.
Oh. Ooh, I love
Chicken
some candy
feed
corn.
but chicken feed doesn't sound good.
Not quite as good as candy corn. That sounds a little bit more abrasive, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I've seen chicken feed. It's just like,
listen, I got a new tattoo last week, and Maggie brought me some snacks and stuff. Yeah, some cooling. Go check out Ian at Rick and Raven in Memphis. It's awesome. But anyway, she brought me peanut butter filled pretzels and candy corn. Elite snack is when you combine the two, like a peanut butter pretzel, a couple candy corn. Elite snack, man. I'm just telling you.
That sounds incredible.
Elite level snack.
My brain is like, it's like I'm seeing color for the first time. In what year did M&M's first introduce their Halloween themed packaging?
Ooh, yes, but I don't know.
86.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What famous Halloween candy originated as a health supplement for athletes that they put into a thing and they put it in their butts in the 1950s?
It's a candy enema. It's a trap.
Not an enema. You couldn't see my. Oh, I
just saw a hand go back there.
No, candy
it's a
enema.
Candy suppository.
No, gross. That's a trap. Moving on. Which popular candy was originally created to be used as a prank for Halloween, as it would change color and make them lose their teeth after 30 minutes?
It's a trap.
That's also a trap. Man, that would suck.
Oh, man.
It's like, what a great sucker. Oh, your teeth start dropping. What percentage of candy sold annually in the U.S. is purchased specifically for Halloween?
Oh, man. Yes. I'd hate to know. It's probably like 80%.
No, God, we're not that well. I should check my stats. As of this morning, it was only 25%.
That probably feels more for 80, but 80 feels a bit of a reach, but 25% is still a lot.
A quarter of the candy sold a year is for Halloween. The other quarter is for us, you and me. I'm
100%.
100%.
Clearly. Body by Butterfinger right here.
Yeah. As evidenced by the candy enema. In 1965, which Halloween candy had to be recalled after reports of it turning into a bubbling liquids in people's stomach, causing them to explode?
That sounds like a great Halloween movie, but it's a trap.
It does sound like a great Halloween. As soon as I said it, I was like, Luke, you can't be giving this away for free, brother. This is good.
Oh, man.
This is good.
We'll start on the script. That's what we'll do.
That's right. Okay. Which candy was invented during World War II when there was a sugar shortage, and it's still given out to Halloween this day?
Yes, I've recently heard this, but I don't remember what it was. I saw it on the tweeter.
It's the Tootsie Rolls.
That's it, Tootsie Rolls. Yeah, that's where.
Which they're good.
Yeah, but like you got to work on them for about 15 minutes. You talk about losing teeth, like it feels like it's stuck in your teeth. Feels like it's pulling them out.
I feel like, I might as well. Tootsie Rolls. It's time. Great, an eon in the past song, for me. Though. Yeah,
great song.
Tootsie Roll. All right. Final question. Which candy company used to give out spooky sugar tablets during Halloween in the early 1900s to give people acid trips?
It's a trap.
It's a trap. All of these candy companies, if they were real, they would just be investigated by the Better Business Bureau. FDA. They're like, wait, you're having people's teeth fall out, causing them acid trips and making them explode? Sounds wild. Brother, you got a full 100. We're going to update the leader. I'm going to update the leaderboard. So, yeah, Shelby, I'm going to move Uncle Buck. Just know I'm moving Uncle Buck down.
Yes.
That's all they need. That's all you need to know is Uncle Buck. You did so well. Uncle Buck's going down in the standings. That's all we know. That's going to do it for our show today. Thank you for hopping on with us. I saw some DG. We will get your question up here for the next Grizz 901, what you guys want to get voted on. But thank you guys for watching the show today. I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow to recap the Grizzlies win tonight. Hopefully. I'm sorry, I'm jinxing it. Knock on wood. Yeah. Have a good Thursday, y'all. Have great days at work. Go check out Jess Benson. Watch the game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. If I can leave you with anything today, anything at all, just 2 little things. Remember to be a little weird, just a little bit, and remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.